Hello, my name is Alyssa Elway. I'm a psychology and law and justice major from Central Washington. I'm now in the senior assessment with all y'all. Um, I'm going to do my presentation on my field of study, I guess, and the majors that I will be pursuing or the masters that I'll be pursuing in the future. Okay, so I'll go through how I actually figured out where I was going to go. I started searching probably about 2 years ago when I realized I really wanted to get my master's in some sort of psychology field. Captain America. So I wrote down what was important to me about where I went, and what came up as most important was that the school I went to was outside of Washington because I don't want to be in Washington anymore. The reason for that was that I really like traveling, and I really like freedom to go to other locations and explore. It's been a big part of my life so far. The second issue was that I wanted it to be relatively cheap, even coming from out of state. I'd like to get my money's worth. And the third reason, which is kind of sad, but it really is, was I wanted to have my area of study. So really it would filter down from the location, how cheap it was, and then make sure it had my area of study, which when I started this was mental health counseling. It's since changed. So what I did is, and I have my other computer here, but I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but I found this site called the Council for Accreditation of Counseling and Related Educational Programs, and shortly it's called CACREP or whatever, I don't know. It's CACREP. Anyway, I was told about this in fall when I went through the intro to the major, and basically what they do is they accredit universities, and through that accreditation process you can get your master's and then go right into the field and do your work, versus like non-accredited universities. You have to go through and get your master's, and then you have to have like 2 years, I think it is, of being either with someone else or being watched. So CACRP gave me a lot of freedom, because if I went to a university that had this, I would immediately be able to work like at a level of income that I wanted to make, versus working as like a steward or something like that, going in as an entry level mental health professional. Anyway, so on this site, and I'll try to show you. Boom, look at that. On this site, you can go over here and you can search by state or region, or you can simply search by a program type, master's or doctoral, or you can search by the master's program type or doctoral program type that you want, which it has it listed here: career counseling, clinical mental health counseling, college counseling, community college counseling, and so on. Then also, which I thought was cool, you can look by private institution, part-time, faith-based institution, full-time institution, public institution, and multiple locations, etc. So that kind of got me started in an area that narrowed down everything. So I basically picked the schools that were outside of Washington that I was interested in, started looking at them. That got me about 20 schools. So after that, I then realized that, okay, I need to move on to number 2, which is let's find the cheapest universities. So I did just a major, or my general search in like Yahoo, I think, for the top cheapest universities for master's programs. And it got me to this site on degreecentral.com, which lists the cheapest, most popular schools in America. And it's the top 25. So I went through them one by one and weeded out the ones that had my, first of all, that were outside of Washington, which I think all of them are, if I remember correctly. Then which ones had my actual major. And then I started looking at them more in depth, like see what the prices were, see what area they were in, what the unemployment rate was. Pretty deep stuff. And that got me to number 18, which I went through all of them first. And I had a weeded out list. Number 18 was not on it. Let me go back. Okay. So it got me to number 18. And at the time, when I was going through this list, I was also taking cognitive psych. And I had changed my major to, my double major, to law and justice. So, due to cognitive psych, I realized I really enjoyed the study of criminals and wanted to kind of see if there was a master's program that I could do based on that. And I found forensic psychology, which, coincidentally enough, number 18, which is the University of North Dakota, has. So I started getting really amped about that. Now, I've kind of decided that University of North Dakota is going to be my one, and maybe I'll apply to a couple others like University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and University of Montana, because that's my dad's alma mater, whatever. But UND offers everything that I want. It's out of state, it offers freedom because it's online, it's super duper cheap, and it has the area of study that I want, forensic psychology, which is actually really hard to find. So, I found. I haven't applied yet. I know we're supposed to, but I haven't. I have until May 1st to apply for fall, which I'm only a senior, just entering my senior year. But the things that the forensic psychology offers is it's 34 credits, it's 2+ years to finish, it's online. There are recorded lectures that you listen to, as well as you have a 1 year you have a campus visit, and I think that's to like present your information that you have found, because you're supposed to have research time for every single semester that you're there, and then you come and present it in the summer. And then this was the kicker. You get in-state tuition no matter where you live. So that's kind of cool. But on top of that, they charge you $400 for being an online student. So I don't know how that works out. Anyway, the things that forensic psychologists do are right up my alley. I've worked 7 years in the police department agencies, 2 of them as a 911 operator. I have hostage negotiation skills, suicide crisis intervention skills. I know pre-arrival instructions for medical issues that I've learned. I've learned a lot, and it's mostly been in the realm of law and justice, which is why I'm double majoring. However, I've also volunteered for as a counselor for domestic violence victims. I've worked at the shelters in the cities that I've lived, and I've worked on the suicide crisis intervention hotline for almost 7 years. And I also did some rape support group work online. So, right up my alley. What a forensic psychologist does is they assess insanity pleas for criminals or alleged criminals. They work with competency for the defense guy or girl, what are they called? I don't know, in the trials. They also predict violence risk in criminals, do evaluations for child custody issues, assess personal injury, like if someone tries to kill themselves, they kind of assess if it's not, I don't want to say not serious, but, you know, if it's long-term or if there's more going on there. They interpret polygraph information, they do personality assessments in criminals and such. So it's right up my alley, totally into it. So I can apply online. I've requested information, and I'll probably actually apply coming up this May. Well, I'll finish it in like the winter because I'm like that. But anyway, so that's where I am as far as checking out information regarding schools, and all of my information like regarding the CACREP and the cheapest schools thing and all that will be posted on my outline that you'll get. Thank you.